It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Bears and the Patriots, and it's coming up next on Madden NFL 22.
From a venue that's been sold out since it opened back in 2002, there's a look at the home of the Patriots, Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. A moment ago, the pride of Massachusetts, the Patriots, introduced to this, as always, sold-out crowd as they get set to go head-to-head with the Chicago Bears. Brandon Gaudin joined as always by Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Bears in this one. Their offense is a unit that's not afraid to take chances out there, and not always for the better. What do you see them trying to do here?
I think they'll continue to take those chances, Brandon, but to me, they have to do it in a measured way. And what I mean by that, they can't just come into a game and throw caution to the wind and just say we're going to run a bunch of gadget plays, a lot of reverses, end arounds, all of those things. They've got to identify the spots where they want those plays to pay off, which means you have to set them up, and then when they present themselves, take full advantage.
Here's the punter, Jake Bailey, ready to do the honors. And we are underway in Foxborough. This is Jakeem Grant. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. Leading them out, the rookie from Ohio State at 22 years of age, it's Justin Fields.
Coming out of Ohio State, one of the top prospects in the NFL draft, and it was so big that they moved up in the draft to get him, to make sure that they had him. And, boys, he got the full package. Loves the game, big-time arm, 4.4 speed, so good that another quarterback prop.
No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And the Pats are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Throwing, Jones. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. First carry for Damian Harris, the Alabama man. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Here's Harris. There's a nice move. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Khalil Mack. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. I think that time he just maybe held on to it a little too long, CD, because after a couple of seconds in this league, you know those defenders are coming.
And how many times do we talk about complementary football? And we're usually talking about, does the offense help the defense? Does the defense help the offense? I think in this case, does the quarterback help out his offensive line? You only have a certain amount of time to get rid of the football. They can only do so much. On this play, he took them to the limits.
Going to throw deep for the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
The Patriots will bring on the field goal unit. And this a 39-yard attempt. And folks, kick is good. And the Patriots jump out to a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. Jakeem Grant now to return. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
Dante Hightower on the stop.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Flushed out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Kyle Van Noy showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Mills. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Jones. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jones. This one to Bourne, and he's got it. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. The sack by Robert Quinn. Boy, Charles, that time he took a bad situation and made it worse.
Yeah, you're almost putting together a nice little song there, aren't you? Because it's something you'll see from young quarterbacks. They have that tendency to retreat backwards instead of stepping up in the pocket.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. On the delay, here's Harris. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Operating from the gun, Jones. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. The inside linebacker, Danny Trevathan, gets the sack. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Six nothing our score after 1. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2. 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9. Fields. He finds Robinson. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going. 3rd and 2, Fields. Being chased out left.
And Fields going to have the first down before sliding to a halt to avoid the contact.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Montgomery. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Fields. Hit as he throws, and the ball is out. It's a live football, and it's picked up by the Patriots. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and a Patriot touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Nick Folk for the point after. And he's got it to make it now 13-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. The return man is Grant. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Devin McCourty brings him down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
All day, baby, all day.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run, Montgomery. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now it's Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. First down, here's the run to Montgomery. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up in a couple of minutes' time. We'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman, the coach in our EA Sports studios. They'll have a look back at the next-gen stats from this first half of action. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 33.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
On first down, it's Fields. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. A gain of 6 there on first. So that was a very nice play, Charles, from a very speedy cornerback.
And that is a situation where in a defender's mind, you just have to pick a point on the football field and think to yourself, I'm going to sprint full out and meet him at that point. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't, but he had to play diagnosed perfectly there.
And his top speed, as computed by next-gen stats, not bad. He was pushing 20 miles an hour. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. To throw again on 2nd down. Fields. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. 3rd and long. It's Fields. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Matt Judon able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Gunnar Olszewski deep for New England. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Pats at the line ready to go. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. So we've reached halftime here at Gillette Stadium with the Patriots on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First order of business, though. Let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Chicago. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, they too didn't do a whole lot in terms of rushing efficiency in that first half, as you can tell by the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. Taylor now from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. And here comes Mac Jones and the rest of the Patriot offense. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Meanwhile, Jones' throw there complete to Myers. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now a give, running left is Harris. Takes to midfield, but no further, just a yard there. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Off play action. Jones. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Well, listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area. He just put it well over his head, out of harm's way.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Myers. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Patriots send out their punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Fields now to throw. And that will be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, standing just about on his own goal line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Patriots take over. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
They'll run it here. This is James White. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Jones. Hunter Henry brings it in. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Now flags come in. Looked like one of the Patriots might have moved. Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Jones. He's going to let this one go deep. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
The Patriots send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Here comes Grant on the return. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Here's Fields. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
And a lot of being a defender is being able to learn what you can and can't get away with when in man coverage. In this case, he got away with it and helped pop that ball free.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Fields. And that is incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. A 40-yard punt, no return, and that will come the offense as they take over. New England's offense set to go. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. Their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That time, a little misdirection really seemed to fool the defense.
And think of it this way. From the time you're in high school, you're taught to watch film and pick up tendencies. Sometimes they can use those against you, though, when they break their own tendencies and hit you back the opposite direction, huh?
They go play action here on first down. And right side, Henry's got it. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. We get set for the fourth quarter. Patriots have the lead. They also have the football. On second down, it's Harris, and he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but
and the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it, and this is picked up by the Bears. Taking it right down Broadway, past the 20. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. And that'll make it 13-7. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Taylor now from the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. Here's the Bears defense as they head out to set up shop now. They get the crucial turnover, just huge, but now they've got the football deep in their own territory, and you got to be careful because if you give it right back, there goes your lead.
Have to be extremely happy with their defense. They received a gift. That takeaway, even though they're deep in their own territory, now they have the football. And you know there's always that alpha on defense, that grouchy guy. Forget what the coaches say. I'll guarantee you, he told the quarterback, we just took care of you. Now you take care of us. I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Harris going to get it again on second down. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
Now a throw here, hauled in. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. They go with White on the counter. Broken tackle. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's going to have a Patriots first down as he gets it up past the 35.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. And I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Harris. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The Patriots send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. A 41-yard punt there with no return, and it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. So now Fields and the Bears down 13-7, 1:46 to go. Needing to go pretty much the length of the football field as they have it 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Going to get this to Cohen. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to piece something together here.
All will be forgiven if he leads them into the end zone.
Fields going to hurry his guys to the line. He's back to throw. Able to find Kmet.
I like what they did there, still keeping their tight ends involved. They understand it's not quite Hail Mary time just yet.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw. He's got Mooney, and he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Clock now under 30 ticks and running. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. 2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Fields. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty, and with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.